Okay, now well and truly we're going to get into the T20 World Cup mood because the Indian team by themselves have gotten into it. One set of players have already reached, the other would have reached.
Definitely.
And today was supposed to be India's first practice session. And I mean, it is night time here, it's only going to be day, just beginning. So in a short while from now, they will have a practice session. Of course, Virat Kohli hasn't reached there as yet. What we're getting to know is that Hardik Pandya would reach there in time for the first practice session. He took a stopover in the UK because it was too hot to practice in India. So did a short 3-4 day stay in UK.
Detour.
Nice weather.
Yeah.
US like, New York like. Maximum of 24-25. A minimum of 15-16, perfect, balmy weather. So he's practiced there, gotten accustomed to things, and now we'll join the squad, link up with them. The other bunch, which also left last night, would just be arriving there or would have just arrived.
Would have gone out.
And now they were, but maybe not for the first practice session, may not be able to join. They'll probably go back, little jet lag, go to the hotel rooms, check in, have some lunch, walk around a bit, have some coffee.
Update Instagram.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
For all of us and the lovely cricket watching public. So
Ravindra Jadeja has been very excited. Every day he's had a story or two. There's a couple of Instagram posts now as well. So plenty of having a good time right now. The Indian team over there.
That's rare when you consider he's someone who I think follows 0 people.
Does he?
Yeah. On Instagram he doesn't follow anyone, and his posts also are pretty sporadic to say the least.
He's tagged the location. He's posed. He's enjoying life there.
Good. I hope in 1 month's time they're giving all of us something to celebrate about as well. Let's be fair. They're there for a reason, and I guess that reason is why we're here today.
And the reason is you.
All of us. Oh, one. My bad. Even that was recent.
He follows whom?
His wife.
Of course.
No. At one point it was genuinely 0.
If he wants to be alive.
I mean, at one point it was genuinely 0. I remember this because when Australia had come to India, I think Nathan Lyon had jokingly requested him that, listen, please follow me for a while. And he did, and that was his only follow.
He has to follow the wife.
He doesn't follow anyone else.
Anyone else he can handle.
Wife, no.
He'll have to follow.
Wife is also a politician.
In life as well as on Instagram.
Life is also a politician.
Even if she was not.
Yeah.
In life as well as on Instagram, both he has to follow the wife. She's done. Well done, Ravindra Jadeja on that.
Those good to follow.
Good stuff. So I believe predictions have started pouring in. Everyone is weighing in on how the Indian team is going to perform, and that's going to be the biggest talking point going forward. Of course, just to let you know, because now it's official that you will be getting all the latest updates from the US, which starting from India-Pakistan match.
Right.
So it'll start
from 9th onwards, or at least the day before.
Yep. So it'll start by 7th onwards. 7th onwards, you'll get updates on Sports Today from ground zero, from the hustle and bustle of New York, the city that never sleeps. From there, you'll get live updates. And by that time, India would have already played a practice game and you would have had an idea of.
By 7th, you would have played a game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ireland, just forgot.
Ireland.
So because I was so caught up with the Indian elections, 4th is the counting day.
Correct.
Yeah.
That you'll get to know, and maybe 6th, 7th, 8th, or maybe 9th could be the swearing in.
Yeah.
It will not happen on the 9th for sure.
8th.
Yeah.
Maybe 8th or maybe 10th, one or the other.
8th, it's not happening on the 9th for sure.
Not on India-Pakistan.
Not happening.
You could do it in the morning and the game is in the evening.
You could.
9th also, by the way, happens to be a Sunday, right?
Yeah, so
then
then probably not.
Following day.
Yeah, Monday.
Following day.
I believe our parliamentarians are both Sundays.
But there's so much, there's going to be so much happening in the country around that time. So swearing in, then you'll have rallies, you'll have a thank you rally and this and that. So many congregations are going to happen. It's the celebration of what we all took part in very recently.
Yeah.
Slap the mark.
Okay, so let's get down to business. What we're going to do today on the dugout is basically weigh in India's chances. We'll all have our own opinion, and before we come up with our own explanation as to where we see India finishing, let's look at what the former players are saying, and predictions have started pouring in. Pawan, do we have some that we can show? Okay, he's got a list, very well done by our producer Pawan. He's collated, ably helped by another producer in Saransh. They've collated data together. So these are the top 4. Ambati Raidu has gone with India, England, New Zealand, South Africa. Lara has gone with India, England, West Indies, Afghanistan. Whoa.
That's a left of field.
Yeah. No, Australia, imagine.
He's not picked Australia in there. Whoa.
Wow.
Oh, by the way,
Raidu
has also not gone with Australia. Oh my God. Paul Collingwood's gone with in England, West Indies, Australia and India.
Reasonable. Reasonable.
Gavaskar has gone with India, Australia, England, West Indies.
Which is basically the same in just a slightly different order. Same 4.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Just he's gone for a slightly different order.
Yeah. And
Chris
Morris has gone India, South Africa, Pakistan and Australia. Interesting, I see a Pakistan there because I was surprised. One of the most successful team in the last 2 T20 World Cup played a semi-final 2021, played the final in 2022.
It took till 5 experts to get a mention of Pakistan.
Yeah.
All experts have named their national team.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Not surprised. Okay, do we have more? Okay, we've got another set of 5.
Nobody named New Zealand in the last fight, did? Was there a...
No, there was no
New
New
Zealand.
So Matthew Hayden's gone with Australia, India, England, South Africa. Finch has gone India, Australia, England, West Indies. Kev has gone India, Pakistan, Australia, England. Moody, Australia, India, South Africa, England. India, Pakistan, Australia, South Africa for Sri Sant. So 10 that we've seen, I don't think I have seen a single person who hasn't picked India in the top 4, and that's very interesting. So these are just the top things that are coming to my mind after looking at that. One, I think India is the only team that has been picked by everyone.
Yeah.
I think the second most picked team is England, clearly by most people. I'm surprised with the amount that Australia has gotten picked. So you actually have one here. Can you go back to the previous slide? 2.
Oh, by the way, Raidu did pick New Zealand.
3.
Raidu did. Raidu didn't pick Australia and Lara didn't pick.
3. So 3 experts haven't picked Australia at all.
Of the 10.
Of the 10, 3 haven't picked. That surprises me. I think England is the other team that almost everyone has picked. I can see Chris Morris not having picked England. Can you go to the next one?
And there was
one more there is only other person.
Srishant hasn't gone
and
with
Srishant. So 2 people haven't picked England. That's after India, the second most successful team. Australia is 3rd, where 3 people haven't picked.
Yeah.
And then I think the most picked team would be West Indies, if I'm not mistaken.
Or could be South Africa.
So let's count. 1 South Africa.
2, 3 here itself.
Yeah, 3 South Africa, 1 West Indies.
Make that 4, 5. And West Indies 2. Or 3.
3 West Indies.
So how many total?
South Africa, there were 3.
And West Indies was 1.
And here there's 2 South Africa.
So 5.
5.
And West Indies?
1 plus 2, 4. 5 and 4.
5 and 4. Very close. So South Africa actually is the 4th most picked team. West Indies is the 5th most picked team. Pakistan is the 6th most. I think 2 people have picked Pakistan.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and
KF is one of them.
And New Zealand is then after that. So in terms of the pecking order, if I'm just collating the data from all experts, your top 4 based on maximum amount of picks are India on top, all 10 have picked, followed by England 8 have picked, followed by Australia 7 have picked, followed by South Africa 5 have picked. So these are your top 4, followed by West Indies 4 have picked, followed by Pakistan 2, New Zealand, Afghanistan 1. Right? That is pretty much, nobody has gone with Sri Lanka, I can see. No pick for Sri Lanka.
Wait for Siddharth to name his 4.
Yeah, but I'm just looking at former players. Okay, so firstly, thoughts. Does it surprise you? Everyone has picked India.
I am surprised.
I'm not.
Why are you not surprised? Are they that good? Are they the best team in the tournament?
One of the best teams in the tournament, I doubt. But I mean, a lot of these expert opinions have come on Indian sports channels, whether it be digital, whether it be television. I don't think they would not name India. And I'm not saying that there's an innate pressure from the channels, but I think they did not want to burn those.
Okay, pandering to the audience then.
Correct.
That's a valid point, because why I'll tell you that in the recent past you had a few statements. The big controversial one, whether it was Boucher, whether it was Langer, whether it was Ponting, this recent, all of them happened when you're speaking to a broadcaster outside of India.
Correct.
And that's when most of these players have come out and been very honest. But when you are on Indian TV or Indian digital platform, you're not taking a chance.
Yeah,
that's
look
why you're
at that. Boucher said so much so that Rohit's wife had to comment on that particular post prior to the start of the IPL. When ahead of the start of the IPL, when Boucher was alongside Hardik Pandya and that question was asked again, there was pin drop silence. There was a moment of awkwardness. You're not willing to take questions here because there had already been a reaction. There had already been so much anger and furore on social media. You come into the country and then you keep mum. So there's absolutely more than a valid reason for them to be pandering to the audiences.
But see, that statement you would have invited criticism, I don't doubt. But in this one, if you were not to pick India, would that invite a lot of criticism? That would still be taken as an analysis. Yes, there would be a bunch of,
That bunch is very loud.
Yeah, I know the loud fans, the boisterous one, I wouldn't want to mince my word, but I'd also say idiotic, because that is an expert and he's picking his 4, and if he does not see a team in there, there's no point trolling him or going after him. That's his pick, right? You could be a supporter of any team. I could be supporting India, but if let's say Morris had not, hypothetically not picked India, I'm not going to go after him. Let's just pick. That's fine, all right. Yeah, I may joke with him, let's say, if India were to go and win the title, then, maybe in fun, oh, Chris, do you remember you did not pick India? And that'll be a funny joke.
Yeah,
but I won't go.
On a smaller scale,
yeah, exactly. Like none of us had picked KKR to win at the start. So that's fine. That is well taken, and we took it also pretty well. In fact, none of you had pointed it out, but I still pointed it out on the show, and that's good banter. That's fine. You would go hating on them, abusing them right after they make a prediction. I just don't understand.
Prediction? Ambati Rayudu ended up copying so much social media abuse for Kevin Peterson calling him a joker that Kevin Peterson had to come out and issue a statement.
No, but you know why that happened? Ambati Rayudu got abused. I'll tell you why. Because he had said a couple of things about Virat. So they went after him. They waited. So when you're going after a player because you hated him. So as soon as Peterson said that, they loved it. They loved the fact that he was called a joker, and they made it trend so that he is made to look in bad light. So Kevin Peterson then had to come and listen. Don't jump on the bandwagon. Don't fire the gun from my shoulder. I didn't mean that, but there was a certain section of fans. That is the problematic fan.
They mixed two things up. That joke comment from Peterson came in another context altogether, and then it was made to use in that orange cap context.
Exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't orange cap, it was his orange costume.
Exactly.
Which he changed. That was the whole crux of the matter.
But it gave the chance to a certain and I only say certain, not all of them are there, a certain section of really toxic fans who will not hear a word about their favorite cricketers, and they are not specific to one cricketer. I have seen now with multiple cricketers, they have these set of fans who will abuse you, make fun of you if you say something. I've never quite understood that. Anyway, as that may be, at the moment, these experts have all picked. They could have had their reasons, maybe cricketing logic tells them, but I also will take it with a pinch of salt, because I think Shane makes a valid point. Because it's said on Indian TV, you don't want to ruffle any feathers and invite the wrath of fans on you, and so you safely say.
But
India,
there's an outlier.
There is there is no outlier.
There is an outlier on Morgan.
No, he's not an outlier.
He picked India.
He picked India not being on an Indian network.
Okay.
Oh.
That's nice to know.
So he wasn't under any pressure or
So he's not an
duress or
outlier
anything.
in that sense.
He wasn't he not part of the digital broadcast, sir?
Yeah, he
Morgan-
was.
Earlier,
Yeah, yeah.
right now with the comments, so these comments, the other experts that we named happened whilst being on camera of the Indian, one of the two partners, the
Got
digital or the television broadcaster. But Owen Morgan has made a comment to the British broadcaster.
Oh.
Nice.
So not
So
the
that is as authentic, as kosher as possible.
Yeah, because I mean, generally speaking, the British broadcaster, and whichever one you go to, generally speaking, there's a lot more of a lax attitude when it comes to analysis. They don't really take offense. Let's put it that way.
Which is
And I'm being
good.
polite here.
Which is good.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
take offense. And they call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
If it is indeed Sky, if he's spoken to
Even
Sky.
with the BBC.
Yes.
Yeah, even if it's a BCCI,
BBC,
Sky went and even you had a scenario where I remember when it was Alistair Cook, he's going through a bad phase. Michael Atherton in the post-match presentation asked him that is he quitting captaincy because results are not going your way, like director. Imagine being an Indian captain and an Indian broadcaster asking that, not happening.
Not a chance.
Indian captain not being asked. You could have that doubt, you could mention it in commentary, oh the pressure is on him, but you never really directly ask a question. So I agree, they never mince the word. So Owen Morgan's words I'm going to take rather seriously because he's not sugarcoating them. So he says, for me the strongest side even with injuries is India without a doubt. Wow. Okay, that's as an Indian fan I'm happy to hear that because I'm not as confident as Owen Morgan is.
Correct.
What does everyone think?
I mean,
Is India the strongest team to you at the moment?
I mean, if I'm picking a top four, they don't make my top four right now. Right now. Basis what I see in front of me, they don't. That's the thing. I don't have a lot of confidence. Of course, if any of y'all are going to come out there and troll me, just remember I didn't have KKR in my top four either. Take it like that.
No, it doesn't matter. It's your opinion.
Yeah, I would place them at being probably the fifth best team right now.
Who are your top four then?
Australia, England, not necessarily that order. I'm picking them. West Indies, shock one, but South Africa. I think they have enough players to cause some damage. They may not win it, but I think they can make the semis this time after bottling it very badly last time, losing to Netherlands of all teams.
I at the moment also find it difficult to see India in the top four.
Who are your top four?
My top four right now as things stand are Australia, England, in no particular order, Australia, England, West Indies and one between New Zealand, South Africa.
Almost the same line.
None of you have picked Pakistan either, huh?
Pakistan also,
No. I think there's a too
They're
much
finalists
chaos
last time around.
I know.
There was chaos that time also. There was chaos before that also when they played the semis. And on that semi, you got unlucky with the toss. You know that T20 World Cup.
Was win toss win match.
Yeah, 2021 was win toss. The team that was chasing had to
Always
win.
had the advantage.
Yeah, so no, but that's fair. Your team picks, huh? So none of you have India. That's very interesting. Firstly, on Owen Morgan's comments, I think as an Indian fan, I'm liking it. But then I'll add one more thing, and this has got nothing to do with the broadcaster. But I think the Indian team overall, the impact that they've had last few years have become a favorite with fans and experts alike. So even when I speak to other fans, I think that's the impression, and that's a good reflection of Indian cricket, that every time you're talking about India, you like, wow, what a team. WTC, I think they'll make the final. ODI World Cup, I think they will make the final. So like that, you've had a situation where everywhere you have gone, the Indian team is now one of the most favored teams amongst most people, and I've seen it with a lot of former cricketers and so on and so forth. They really rate India very highly, and I think that is down to overall India's dominance across different formats, and we have seen that in the last, yes, may not have a trophy to show, but I'm saying overall maybe how the Indian team does, you have the IPL and all of that, I think it's just gone with that. So it doesn't surprise me, but would I be as confident as, even though I'm an Indian fan, as confident as an Owen Morgan to say that they're the strongest team right now? I don't think so. Even if I'm a staunch Indian supporter, I think that will be slightly bit of an exaggeration. Yeah, you could, if somebody says that India are a top 4 team, I wouldn't be surprised with that, because I think in international cricket, they are a top 4 team. And like, two of my colleagues here have not picked India in the top 4. I'm not even surprised with that, because there could be an argument, because as things stand right now, there are a good 6-7 teams in the competition that on a given day could make the semi-final. And why I was surprised with even Sri Lanka, because I'll tell you what, in T20 cricket, the margins anyway reduce.
Correct.
And that's why I'm not surprised somebody even picked Afghanistan. You need to just string together a few good games. And let's not forget, this World Cup is in West Indies, where I don't know how the pitches are going to be, but Rohit Sharma has already given an indication that you might get spin-friendly pitches. On a scenario like that, even a team like Sri Lanka, which has got a Hasaranga, it has got a Thikshana, and it's got a Vellalage. So, that's a good, decent spin bowling lineup. Then they have a few other, all-rounders that can chip in with their spin bowling, few all-rounders that can chip in with their fast bowling. I think Shanaka is one, Angelo Matthews is one.
Yeah.
So, T20 cricket is all about all-rounders. It's all about, people chipping in with different skill sets. And I think Sri Lanka also has that. As it showed you, now I'll just go to the T20 format, as it showed you in the Asia Cup, that we saw 50 over Asia Cup, they made the final, Pakistan could not. Go to before that T20 Asia Cup, and they won it, 2021.
Yeah.
They beat Pakistan in the final, beat India before that. So again, a dangerous team. And especially if you are going to get West Indies condition that everyone expecting, I think the closest country to those kind of conditions is Sri Lanka. So again, I'm not saying they are my top 4 team, but all I'm saying is that I can think of 8 teams right now that could be vying for a top 4 position. And that rarely happens. We've reached a situation in international cricket where most ICC events we could pick at best 5 teams, and we knew out of the 5, 4 are making.
4 are making it for sure.
But I think this is going to be the first World Cup where I can see about 8-9 teams that could be in with a chance, provided they can put together 2-3 good results. You never know. And anyway, the action starts in the Super 8s.
Yeah.
The first round doesn't really matter. So surprised that a team like Sri Lanka doesn't get picked, not even by 1. They may miss out. Okay, now coming to, that's why I'm saying, for me to have a clear-cut favorite, and it's not even India. At the moment, if you ask me one clear-cut favorite, I don't think I can just go with one team. I don't know if I'll go with an Australia. I don't know whether I go with an England. I don't know whether I'm going to go with a West Indies as the team that's going to win. Having said that, let's zero in on India's chances, because you both haven't picked India in your top 4. And I am tempted to pick India in my top 4, and I'll give you reasons for that. See, India, for those of you who don't know, have been designated A1 already, right? So the first group, you are A1. So India play the first group, that's a bit of a walkover for most major teams.
Yeah, the only real challenging match there actually is Pakistan.
Yeah.
Ireland if you have a wobble.
Correct, that's what I'm saying. No, so if you wobble, then you can even lose to the US. So then that's another scenario altogether. I'm saying expecting the top 8 teams that you have, 2 in each group, play according to the form. So all those 8 then come to Super 8. That's when the real competition starts, right? So I'm assuming that the top 8 are coming in there.
There are also 4 you're looking at.
Yeah. So then India comes in. India, Pakistan make it from that group, I'm assuming. So now this is where you get down to business. Now India, other team, if, as I said, the groups in Super 8 are not going to be made on where you finish in the points table. It's already based on the seedings that you have. So if like India is A1 in their group, even if they finish behind Pakistan, they still remain A1. If they've qualified, that is. Similarly for other teams, if England are B1 and Australia B2, even if Australia finish ahead of England in the points table in that first round, England still remain B1 and Australia B2, right? So so now we know pretty much, assuming that all 8 that I said top teams do qualify for the Super 8s, if nothing crazy happens, then I know which are the teams India are playing in Super 8s, and that's where decides your top 4, right?
Correct.
So India will play Australia, India will play New Zealand, India will play Sri Lanka. So now out of these 4 teams, that Sri Lanka, India, New Zealand, Australia, 2 are going to make it to the semi-finals. So now I'm just looking at this side. I'm not even going to the other side for the top 4. So now I think, even though I've built up Sri Lanka, and I know it can be a tricky game, but I'm still putting India comfortably ahead of Sri Lanka at the moment. So now it boils down to a 3-horse race between New Zealand, Australia and India for that semi-final spot. And if, as I said, the conditions are going to be spin friendly, then I see India having a slight better chance than both New Zealand and Australia to make it to the semi-final. Which is why am putting India in my top 4, and I'm also looking at the venues where they're playing. So India play New Zealand at Barbados. Now Barbados is a good pitch. It's a pitch that gives a lot of runs, but it's also a pitch that helps fast bowlers. So that becomes a tricky game because you'll be up against a Matt Henry, Bolt, a Lockie Ferguson. India against that tricky game, and no matter what you say, I'm calling it a 50-50 game.
Yeah, okay.
If Barbados does serve up a typical Barbados pitch.
Wicket.
Okay. India and Sri Lanka play in Antigua, traditionally in the Viv Richards, traditionally a docile pitch that may aid spinners. So that again becomes a tricky game because spinners is Sri Lanka's strength. They're going with 3 good spinners in Hasaranga, in Thikshana and Vellalage. And you're playing again a tricky game, but I'm giving India the edge there. So India have an edge, I think 1 win under there. India, Australia in St. Lucia. That is a game, and I think on paper, I see Australia as the stronger team. Truth be told, stronger team than India. But it's been a long time since a game has been played in St. Lucia at Gross Islet. I don't know how the pitch is going to behave there. But if I go back to the pitch that was served there, by the way, I saw the Australia-Pakistan game, the semi-final that took place in St. Lucia, where Michael Hussey played an innings of a lifetime. Unbelievable position, but took Australia to victory. That was also the ground where Suresh Raina got 100. So it's a decent batting pitch as well, can aid spinner. But if the conditions help India, it's again a 50-50 game for me. I'm just hoping that between the 2 games, that's New Zealand, Australia, India nick 1 and they qualify. So I am seeing India make it. I know it's not going to be an easy road, but I see India make it to the semi-final. Also, because I know a lot of you are going to talk about players not in form going into the T20 World Cup, but I think by the time you reach your crunch games, these players would have played a few games already and some T20 matches under their belt, and who knows, law of averages, maybe they were saving up on all their runs for the T20 World Cup. Some of them come good, better clarity, and they make it. So I see India in my top 4. Who are my remaining top 3? I don't know as yet. But I will, because I'll look at squads. See, 1 between New Zealand and Australia makes it from there. If you really put a gun on my head, I'll go with Australia if I had to pick 1. Again, I mean, you have to be a brave man to leave New Zealand out, not making it to a semi-final. But
they didn't make it last year also, 2022.
Yeah.
And this time it's the same team, but 2 years older. So if they may not actually.
Yeah. So if I have to really pick 2 teams and I pick India, Australia from this half, the other half I'm not even getting into it.
It's very tough.
Very, very tough. Yeah. Very, very tough. So yeah, they're making it top 4 for me.
I don't know, there's a lot of unpredictabilities here, and I don't think any one of us know how the conditions play.
Let's see what our viewers go ahead.
This is one case where I'd be more than happy to be proven wrong. Just as I was for the IPL prediction, please let me be proven wrong. I'm more than happy being.
So, just for reasons, why did you both not pick India? Is it the form? Is it the personnel?
Firstly the format, I would say. We're not talking about the ODI World Cup anymore. ODI World Cup, I don't think we had any doubts. T20 cricket, of course, we've seen now in the shortest format of the game, as you earlier referred to as well, the margins have become slender. Teams have gotten better. I still feel India are behind the curve when it comes to T20 international cricket. For those reasons, I think India miss out. And the form of some of the players over the last few months, the last couple of months, hasn't been very inspiring. And yeah, we might just fall short there. T20 cricket, India, not the same lion that you sort of expect them to be, roaring into competitions as is the case in ODI cricket.
Plus, you have a fair few players who are not in form. Actually, I'm not even counting Rohit. I'm not counting Rohit because his form in international cricket has never been dictated by his IPL. He's had horrible IPLs for years.
And yet done well in international.
And done stupendously well in international cricket. So leave him aside. But the form of Hardik does concern me. Again, he's not played any international cricket since he got injured. And then his mental form also concerns me. Leave aside anything which
he's refreshed now.
I hope he is, but I mean, man, the kind of pillaring that he got during the IPL.
Was it down also to with the personal life
Reasons?
rumors?
I mean,
that
I don't want to speculate.
Yeah,
but
we
it
don't
could
know
be.
actually.
It could very well be. You don't know. That's the
Because we kept analyzing, like, could be the pressure in the franchise. For all
very
you
well
know,
been
could have been a personal situation.
Of course. That never makes it easier to deal with.
Yeah.
So he's a worry. A Jadeja is a sure shot starter, but his form has been a worry. I don't worry about him with the ball because I'm sure he'll get certain days where conditions he can make it talk, like he did in the IPL. His batting form, no less said the better. It's
Okay.
tricky.
Let's see what our lovely subscribers, viewers have to say. Satish B says, no brainer. All ex-cricketers will pick India just because of emotions and fan base. If you are a cricket fan, England, Australia, West Indies, either one of them will pick this World Cup. Mark it. Okay, interesting point. So, England, Australia, West Indies for him. 3 teams. viratkohli says, looking at the explosive Indian squad, do you feel that this T20 World Cup will even be competitive, or is it just a formality to crown India champion?
Bullish.
No, he's being sarcastic.
I hope.
When he uses the word explosive,
Okay.
I think so.
I hope so.
Mr. GTN, now you could change our name to Indian. Yeah,
Mr.
Shekhar. He says the New York ground is 75 minutes from where I live, and I'll be going for the India USA on the 12th. The entry gate opens for fans at 8:30 p.m. local time. AM. Sorry, yeah. Nikhil sir is coming days during your vlogs. Please suggest a spot for meeting. Done. We'll do a meet and greet, Sports Today meet and greet there in the US. I know a lot of you watch us from the US. We get to know from the comment section. So yeah, I'll put a post on the community or something, or maybe in one of our lives let you know where we can do that, and maybe do a live with all of you. I did that, if you remember, from the Asia Cup in the UAE. We got a few subscribers joining us live.
Even during the ODI World Cup, I remember there were a few fans who joined us live when you were on Zoom.
Yes. But now if you plan it, then we can do it better.
Yeah. Easily.
We'll do it.
Easily.
Okay, good idea. Dhanush.
Indian cricketers who have won both the ODI and T20 World Cup. There's MS Dhoni, there's Yuvraj Singh, there's Virendra Sehwag, there's Harbhajan Singh, Yusuf Pathan, Gautam Gambhir. Can Virat Kohli join this list? I mean, yes, but you'd also want, ideally, technically even Rohit is not part of the list. He hasn't won an ODI World Cup. Also, he's missed a few names.
Yeah, Raina?
Yeah, Raina. Srishant was
No, Raina was in T20 World Cup team.
Oh, he wasn't in the T20 World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
But Srishant
Srishant
was there in both.
Yeah.
Piyush Chawla? Yeah.
Can't miss Piyush Chawla.
Chawla ji.
He was there in both. He was there as a squad player for both. He was there.
Yes, he was.
He snuck in one of the squads.
Yes. I remember.
True that.
Ashish Dhar says, Owen Morgan's trying to make India complacent.
That they say many experts try and do. That they say many experts, just because, see, when it comes from certain personalities, the narrative, that's how narratives, how else do narratives get built? When people who are in power, people who have the mic in their hand, when they are heard, that's how narratives are built. Like they say that some of these guys are very cheeky and they do go back and have a little crack at India then behind the scenes.
Okay, let's go. A few more comments. Abhishek Rawat, why are you guys not giving chances to Pakistan? Who knows, in knockout matches, Fakhar Zaman does a Fakhar Zaman thing and their bowling looks good. Abhishek, I agree with you. That's why I pointed out that I was a bit surprised in the experts pick that only 2 had picked.
Kef had
2 had picked. So, bit surprising considering, see, you have to look at the past World Cup record. They played a semi-final of the 21 World Cup, final of the 22. So, in terms of their performance, they're pretty much in the top 3-4 teams just based on T20 World Cup. And see, again, Pakistan in 50 overs may struggle, Pakistan Test cricket may struggle, but the kind of explosiveness and the uncertainty surrounding T20 format
tends to somehow bring them into the game.
It just brings them into the game. They're the kind of players or team. That really revels in such situations, like this kind of a format.
40 overs, you're in. Yeah,
because see, they play like maverick sort of cricket, right? And this format is suited for that. All you need is like a half an hour of somebody going crazy, whether it's Shaheen Shah with the ball or a Fakhar Zaman with a bat.
I mean, even if you think back to the ODI World Cup, what was that one match which kind of kept them alive? It was maybe New Zealand and Bangalore. Why? Because the match got rained out. Fakhar Zaman went crazy for like an hour. And after that, they were right of the asking rate. So it didn't really matter if they completed the game. Because it got rained out.
Exactly. So I think they're underrepresented. They will still find it tough to make the top 4. I think a lot of teams will find it tough. They're in the other group. They'll have West Indies, England, Pakistan itself, and South Africa to contend with. So imagine those 4 teams that side. So they will be in a tough position. Actually, good luck picking 2 from there. Huh?
Yeah.
You got West Indies, Pakistan, England, South Africa. Whoa. That's why I think India has slightly better chance, this side to make it. Okay, Priyanshu says real tournament is Super 6, is Super 8 this time. First round is just a spectacle. I think India will reach semis this time. Team which peaks at the right time wins. 20th June to 29th June is the real thing. Point.
I mean, it's a good spectacle. I personally am very glad they're including some other teams. Because then it genuinely feels like a World Cup and not a 10 richest member association nations boards World Cup.
And 2 other teams are dangerous, as I said, Afghanistan and Sri Lanka. We've only looked at 8 here. Correct. 2 more, that's 10 teams.
And T20 again, it's smaller format, shorter
9
format.
actually.
Yeah, even Bangladesh ran India close in 2022. Let's
don't
not forget.
remind us.
If it wasn't for that rain interruption and that run out that followed after that.
KL Rahul run out,
Yes, India were
in trouble.
In big trouble.
Yeah, you're right.
And this is the same format where Zimbabwe last year beat eventual finalist Pakistan. So funny things happen in T20 cricket.
That surprised South Africa.
Never mind that. Bangladesh were talking about playing USA is not ideal preparation, then when lost the series.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can happen.
Sarat Chandra says, Nikhil sir, we count bits and pieces cricketers of other teams and make them gods. Well, Lalage was never seen after that game, so we are overhyping them and microscoping our players. No, not true. I'm saying that you need to take some good spinners there. Not for once have I downplayed our team. I picked India in the top 4, haven't I? I've given them the edge over Sri Lanka. All I'm saying is that since nobody picked it, I don't think you're getting the contest. We had 10 experts pick their team. Not a single one has picked it, which is fine. Even if I was to pick, I wouldn't have. But all I'm saying is that see how competitive this World Cup is.
Correct.
That even a team that nobody picks on a given day are dangerous. You're playing Sri Lanka and Antigua. Hasaranga, Tikshana, who knows? Venalage also, I know one good game, but all it takes is one good spell.
Correct.
Finish off anybody.
Absolutely.
Yep.
There's one more. A. Venkat says that recent performances in IPL are totally clouding the judgment of keeping India out of the top 4 by some of you. International games are totally different, and the same guys who failed in the IPL will do very well in the international platform. No, that's a fair point, A. Venkat. That's a fair point.
But that also see, firstly we mentioned that. I think I did mention that it's say IPL, but also I'm saying, see, that's what is your reference point? It'll have to be the last competitive thing that you were playing, and that was the IPL. You'll have to look at players' forms from that, right? We were here sitting in and discussing that how does Jake Fraser McGurk not make it? There are reasons for that, right? Simply because of his form here. We were also surprised how is it that a David Warner makes it. Why were we doing it? Because of the IPL form. So it's not just that Indian players we're looking at. I think we're looking at it globally of all players and the kind of form they're showing. But you're right, they could turn it around. But there's also a chance that, what you've seen in the IPL continues. Maybe some of those players are ahead of the curve. Who knows? On the tournament, anything can happen. I completely agree. But when you look at it, it's only fair to look at recent performances and then base your judgments on that. Kiran Khatri says, hi gents, will Mumbai Indian drama have any effect on the Indian team? So many protagonists, and will Chahal get a game? Very good question.
Chahal may get a game here or there. I think, again, Rohit has made it very clear he wanted 4 spinners for a reason.
Yeah, and overall 6.
So I think they'll get a game here or there. Will the MI drama have an effect on the Indian team? That's harder to call. I think it could lead to some frostiness at most.
See, they could be, okay, we don't know. Whatever you're saying is speculating. Yes, there was a drama in the Mumbai Indian camp. Maybe some of those people are going to be here. But as I've said oftentimes, teams have gone into a tournament with a lot of issues. We were talking about Pakistan, they go into most tournaments with issues, but you know how they play. A lot of football teams have had fights, disagreements, not talking to each other. The French team that won in 98, I believe, had, really not a lot of people on the same wavelength, but look what they did in the tournament. So there will always be that thing, but I guess all of them are such professional cricketers that You give them a game, they step onto the field, they turn on their charm. Because see, again, even if you're not playing for each other, hypothetically, assume that maybe that's all. You're playing for yourself, right? You're playing for your country.
Yeah.
You're playing for the fans. So you go out and perform. It eventually helps the team.
Yeah.
And you win. Who doesn't want to be a winner? And these guys have reached that far because of that winning mentality, winning attitude. What a personal thing. Okay, you could still win the cup, celebrate, be called a world champion. That will always be. Remember, that's motivation enough. Playing for your country is motivation. After that, you don't have to be each other's best friend, 4 a.m. friends, or send each other Christmas cards. Don't do it. I may have to go. You guys want to carry on, or you want to wind up? Whatever.
Just one comment I have to take because it comes from Harshit's fiance.
Harshit's fiance. He says, "Hi guys, did you see Riyan Parag search history?" No.
So he was doing some sort of a live stream, and
Okay,
there was some
so-
rather naughty searches over there, which involved certain actresses who have been seen in the limelight recently.
Okay, let's not.
Or in the World Cup final.
Let us.
Oh,
not.
the IPL
Let's not get.
Whatever.
there. Okay, I want to take. Predict one associate team making it a top 4.
Good
He
one.
says Netherlands. Good call.
Yeah, Netherlands will
Netherlands
be
are
a
a
good
good
shout.
shout.
Very good shout. Ireland also maybe, but Ireland actually
they're not associate.
They're not
Oh,
associate.
they're not. They're a
Ah,
test
they're
player
not
section, I
associate
think.
anymore.
Yeah. They're not.
I would have put Ireland as well, but yeah, not fit into the.
Technically, then neither are
description.
Afghanistan, also a test playing
Yes,
nation.
they've also played a test then. See, the likes of your Uganda, Namibia, USA, Nepal.
USA?
Yeah, USA just because the
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
On 2 occasions.
Up
Yeah,
and
but I
down
think
was-
they'll not be able to make it out of that group.
Yeah. Sure.
Can you give a tighter frame for it, please?
So, yeah, if there was one, maybe the Dutch.
Yeah, actually, the Dutch side are closest. They have a lot of experienced players, lest we forget. A lot of them did well even in the, World Cup last year.
Last
They
year.
were there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think Netherlands is a good shout. Iga Swiatek fan.
Yeah, good question. We'll take some more before we wrap this chat up.
Sachin Kashyap says, I think we are forgetting the fielding aspect of modern T20s. Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, and India are top fielding sides. India? Really? This Indian team does have some weaker fielders.
Ashwin's not there now.
Dubey is there.
Yeah.
He's a suspect catcher, if I'm being polite.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
But overall, there are good fielders. See, if you
yeah,
have,
there's a Jadeja,
there is a
Pandya,
Jadeja, there's a Pandya,
Kohli.
there's a Kohli leading them.
Sky, a good catcher, generally speaking.
Sky also. Rinku, who knows?
Assuming.
Yeah, gun fielder though, Rinku.
Let's see.
Can we stop somewhere, Pawan? What is Vibhor saying? Vibhor says, I feel India will win this time when we are very good on paper. It puts extra pressure on the team. This time might be India's time. Let's see. The preparation we've all seen as far as the IPL is concerned. All these players that are now going to be representing India were there. Mixed sort of a tournament. Let's say there was this time we graded all their performances as well. There's only a couple of them that came out with flying colours, but international cricket a different beast altogether.
Absolutely. And we'll end with Ashish Dhar's comment. He says only a World Cup winning coach can end India's title drought.
What is he alluding to?
Well, Harshit will be probably doing a video on that very soon. So stay tuned.
Yes, let's see what it is like. Thank you so much. We'll just be wrapping this chat up. As far as the Indian coaching job is concerned, well, time's actually now over in terms of
The deadline.
applications for the post is concerned, because the deadline was the 27th
Which
of
is yesterday.
May. But these things can always be changed. You never know. There was never.
I mean, it's a self-imposed deadline, right?
It's a self-imposed, and there are always extensions. We know how it's worked in the past. It's not cast in stone, let's say.
Absolutely.
But what we do get to know as of now is there's been some sort of communication between the BCCI and Gautam Gambhir. We'll be giving you more details on that very soon. But where do India finish in the World Cup? What are your top predictions? Let us know in the comment section. In case you're joining us right now, Shane and I did the unpopular thing by not having India as things stand in the top 4. Let's see.
Happy to be proven wrong.
What the warm-up games sort of pan out like, and what are the other things? Is there some sort of clarity that we get from the coach, from the captain as far as India's 11 is concerned? Maybe that's when we change our predictions. But let us know your thoughts in the comment section. For now, we'll take your leave. We'll come back with your favorite talk show when it comes to cricket tomorrow in the evening, 6:15. You know where to come.
Subscribe if you haven't already, because we get to know from our analytics that a lot of you guys join but unsubscribe. Why? Please do it. Helps us a lot. Costs you nothing.
Also, we're very close to a landmark, a significant
400K,
one at
4
that.
lakhs.
So help us get there. So for now, Shane and I will take your leave. Thank you. Bye bye. Nandri. Take good care of yourselves. Shubh Ratri. Shab Bakhair.